Good morning. This is Pastor Brian. Thank you for joining me as we read a psalm a day. Today we are reading Psalm 52. I'll be reading from the Common English Bible, and I invite you to read along in your own favorite translation. Listen as I read it this morning, or find a copy of the Common English Bible online, or if you want to get a copy, then feel free to jump in that way as well. Psalm 52. Hey, powerful person, why do you brag about evil? God's faithful love lasts all day long. Your tongue devises destruction. It's like a sharpened razor causing deception. You love evil more than good. You love lying more than speaking what is right. You love all destructive words. You love the deceiving tongue. But God will take you down permanently. He will snatch you up, tear you out of your tent, and uproot you from the land of the living. The righteous will see and be in awe. They will laugh at those people. Look at them. They didn't make God their refuge. Instead, they trusted in their own great wealth. They sought refuge in it to their own destruction. But I am like a green olive tree in God's house. I trust in God's faithful love forever and always. I will give thanks to you, God, forever, because you have acted. In the presence of your faithful people, I will hope in your name, because it's so good. It's the end of Psalm 52, and the thing that really stuck out to me was just this section, little tiny section, verse, I guess is all it is, right after the words of the people talking about the wicked. In the second part of verse 8, it says, I trust in God's faithful love forever and always. And then the beginning of verse 9, I will give thanks to you, God, forever, because you have acted. That's what really stuck out to me today, is this idea of trusting in God's faithful love forever and always. You know, oftentimes what we've seen in the Psalms is the psalmist, typically David, is frustrated and upset about the wicked and their thriving. And today he's not. Today he kind of sees how maybe that doesn't always work out for them. And that they see that, you know, in the end, it doesn't produce life. It doesn't produce happiness. In fact, evil is the cause of their own destruction, as the end of verse 7 says. And so instead, he plants himself in God's house and he trusts in God's faithful love forever and always. Just that idea that no matter what's going on, to trust in God's faithful love. You know, and that's not always easy. It's not to say that that's an easy thing to do. It's not to say that it's at times is a hard thing to do either. But always, you know, to kind of have that as just a constant in your life, to trust in God's faithful love. Because we do see, and I hope that you do see, the ways in which God acts in this world. And those are the things that remind us of God's love. Those are the things that we hold on to. Those are the things that constantly remind us that God is acting. Not that God did, but God does, and God will do. You know, an ongoing. It's past, it's present, it's future. And it's a promise that will be the case. So that's what I got out of today's text. You know, I thought the whole people laughing at the wicked people was kind of humorous and telling that, you know, really they don't always benefit from the ways of this world, that they're not always the ones who get the golden goose. But there is times in which all of their trust in their own wealth, as verse 7 also says, And that all of that, their wicked ways, their trust in their wealth, they'll trust in just any kind of earthly thing, eventually leads to their destruction. And, we can interpret what that destruction means however we want, but that trusting in God's love, giving thanks to God for God being active in our lives, is where we, as faithful people, put our hope and our trust. So write down what you got out of it. What did you like? What didn't you like? Share it with a friend. Share it with us. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And as always, God bless.